Okay, today I'm going to share from the Malachi chapter 2, verse 4 to 6. I'll be reading. And you will know that I have sent you this admonition so that my covenant with the Levi may continue, says the Lord Almighty. My covenant was with him, a covenant of life and peace. And I gave them to him this called for reverence, and he revered me and stood in the awe of my name. True instruction was in his mouth, and nothing false was found on his lips. He walked with me in peace and uprightness, and turned many from sin. Amen. I guess this is the main section where God proclaims the nullification, abolition of the priesthood of the priest. And so God is saying, when I make this covenant with the Levi, which is ancestor of priestly clan, and he walked with me, and there was a truth in his mouth, and he has reverence for me. All those, the reason God's saying is that today's priests, they don't have this. Therefore, I nullified or abolished the office of priest. And that's the meaning of the section. I'm going to open with the video, Groundhog Days. Probably you know this movie.
Groundhog Day!
Groundhog time.
1,000 people freezing their butts off waiting to worship a rat.
Weatherman Phil Connors is spending the day in Puxatawney, Pennsylvania.
Phil? Ned! Ned Ryerson, I did the whistling belly button trick at the high school talent show.
Bing!
Bang!
But Phil's about to find out he's not just stuck in Puxatawney.
Will you be checking out today, Mr. Connors?
Chance of departure today, 100%.
He's stuck
Groundhog Day!
in Groundhog Day.
I'm reliving the same day over and over.
Phil?
Ned Ryerson?
Bang!
Do you ever have deja vu, Mrs. Lancaster?
I don't think so, but I could check with the kitchen.
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
At first, he was a little anxious.
Phil? What?
Will you be checking out today, Mr. Connors?
I'd say the chance of departure is 80%.
But now,
We could do whatever we want.
he's discovering the possibilities
Don't you worry about cholesterol?
Why?
and living life like there's no tomorrow.
Phil Connors!
Ned!
Because there isn't.
I am an immortal. I have been stabbed, shot, burned, frozen, electrocuted. I'm a god.
You're God.
I'm a god. I'm not the god.
He's out of his gourd.
But to get what his heart wants most
What are you looking for, Phil? A date for the weekend?
means living this day over again till he gets it right.
Believe it or not, I studied 19th century French poetry.
What a waste of time.
I studied 19th century French poetry.
La fille qui j'aimerais.
You speak French.
Oui.
Bill Murray, Andy McDowell,
To the groundhog.
I always drink to world peace. Well, what should we drink to?
I like to say a prayer and drink to world peace. Don't drive angry. Don't drive angry.
He might be okay.
Yes! Groundhog Day!
So the most important lesson of this movie is when you give a wrong answer to the lady, you get hit. You get a local sandwich. And you know the movie, you know the story. The Phil Connors is weatherman, and reporting the Groundhog Day is supposed to be one-day thing. And there was a heavy snow in the afternoon, so he got trapped. So he got into the hotel, got up next morning, realized the same days are repeating again and again. And so he realized he are trapped in the black hole of the time. He become indifferent. He doesn't really care, right? It's the same day repeats. So he approached any girl and stealing money and wasting, purposeless, aimless, and he even tried to kill himself, suicide. And while those things are happening, he met the woman reporter, Rita, and he began to fall in love. And love somehow changes his attitude. He helping an old lady, saving a child. And he began to text. Although it's the same day repeats, now he begin to approach with some awareness and as a result, he is creating some meanings, some values out of repeating day. So obviously it's about our life. Our life is very routine. I mean, we may change behavior a little bit, but actually it's the same routine, just repeats. And as he taking things new, doing things a new way, then he realized one morning, finally new day has risen. And so in the happiness, he shout, "Do you know what day is today? Today is tomorrow." And finally tomorrow came. So it's comedy, but I think very serious meaning. It contains very serious meaning that in the routine daily life, when we begin to take the moment seriously, and we create some meaning and value out of it, the routine same day become a new day. When we make a new day, that's the only time, that's the only way to live a life. Unless new day is a new day, we just survive there, routinize our whole life, and never facing new time as new time. So life, the character of life is the blooming anew in ordinary times, which I call transcendence. Transcendence is, if I love my own kid, that's a natural thing. There is no, I mean, in the phenomenon reality, we may feel something, but not the true value and meaning has created there. But if I love somebody else's children, that's another thing. So life becomes life when I go beyond natural law, beyond ordinarily expected behavior. And the life, only way to be life is through transcendence. And today's text, I already explained you this. This is the section that God nullified the office of a priest. And the reason is that God had the covenant with the Levi, that Levite covenant, let's go. Levite covenant is covenant of the life and shalom, life and peace, life and shalom. So today we're going to examine what is life what is shalom. Actually, those are the two main the theme of the Bible. And let's go with the life. The core of the Bible is life and shalom. And the life, in our world, life simply means you're not dead. I mean, that's not life in the Bible. Life in the Bible is a capacity and ability to transcend. If you just according to the natural law, it's a phenomenon. Some physical reality there, according to the law of nature, but not life. When Jesus said, I am the life, I am the truth, I am the way, he doesn't mean I'm not dead. He means I go beyond ordinary realities, physical phenomenon. So life is, since it's from God, obviously, this is infinite possibility. Life is infinite possibility. Remember that. It's just too precious just to live out the ordinary life. It's just too precious just to concern about how much I make. Am I making a little more than you do? Or a little less than you do? And there may be concern. But only thing you concern is how will I survive? Then we are really wasting our life. Life, the key characteristics of life is transcend. How life transcends is not through our own might. It's not through our own willpower. But when we encounter the sacrifice, life has already potentiality to transcend. It just open up and blooming up. If I transcend, probably it wouldn't be a transcendence. It coming from me somehow is beyond myself. That's why it's a transcendence. And the transcendence happens when we encounter sacrifice. Sacrifice. Sacrifice is very important term in the Bible, obviously, right? Whole Old Testament is about sacrifice. In the sacrifice, what we encounter is that of God. Commonly, we make a mistake. In the sacrifice, the animal dies instead of me because of my sin. That's what we commonly have taught and known. However, that's not all. God is holy. God cannot take the sin. But in the sacrifice, we give our sin to God. And God willingly, gladly embrace it. Each time God embraces our sins, He dies. He dies. So, obviously the cross coming as a complete incarnation of the sacrifice. And let us look at one more video because it's much better than my English.
구조대원이 무너진 건물 더미 속에서 한 여인과 아기의 시체를 발견했습니다. 여인은 지진 속에서 젓가락을 채 놓을 새도 없이 자신의 아기를 안은 채 숨졌습니다. 그때였습니다. 구조대원이 죽은 여인을 들어 올리려는 순간 죽어있는 줄로만 알았던 아기가 여인의 품 안에서 울음을 터뜨렸습니다. 아기를 안고 있던 엄마의 품이 아기를 지키고자 하는 엄마의 의지가 아기를 살린 것입니다. 잠시 후 다른 구조대원이 여인의 핸드폰을 발견했습니다.
아기야, 만일 네가 살아난다면 이 엄마가 너를 정말 사랑한다는 것을 잊지 마렴.
콘크리트 더미 속에서 서서히 죽어가던 여인이 자신의 핸드폰을 통해 아기에게 남긴 마지막 메시지는 보는 이들의 마음을 적셨습니다. 모든 것을 무너뜨린 대지진도 어머니의 사랑을 무너뜨릴 수는 없었습니다. 아기는 엄마의 사랑 덕분에 살아왔고, 살아났고, 또 살아갈 수 있게 되었습니다.
This is 2008 in China, Sichuan province. There was earthquake, scale 8.0. So over 70,000 people died. And there was a pile of concrete. And when they took it out, they found a lot of dead bodies. Among them was the mother and baby. Imagine that chunk of concrete falling upon, and you try to get that pressure, that weight by all your body to save a child. And then when I see this video, I realize that child just got a huge strength against the force of this world. Whenever he remembers that mother's love, he has a power to transcend, go beyond, goes one more steps. And that's exactly the way. Life comes alive and blooming when the life encounter the sacrifice. This whole world is terribly wrong about. Life is strengthened by the knowledge and positions and powers and result of the games, all those things. It is not. Life become life having true power of transcendence is when the life encountering the sacrifice. In fact, that's the only way of life. In the animal world, these days, YouTube, you could see a lot of video like this. There was an emperor penguin, and when emperor penguin's couple have an egg, that egg, if just 1 second outside, it's just frozen. And the moment the female lay the eggs, the male emperor penguin take the eggs and it embrace under his feet. And he tried to protect that egg for 60 days. 2 months, he just stand there. He cannot move. I mean, sometimes he move little by little. However, literally 2 months, it's just emperor penguin, the male emperor penguin just stuck there. Sometimes it's attacked by the seal. Even if he dies, it doesn't let egg go. And all those things, whether it's animal or plant, it's only way to life to be continued to be life is through the actually from the sacrifice. And in sacrifice, life open up to the transcendence. Transcendence meaning infinite possibility. Our possibility is not fixed. It's infinite possibility. First of all, in our consciousness, the consciousness doesn't limit it, defined by it, limit of the time and space. It goes beyond any circumstance and beyond any conditions. Last week in KM, I shared the story of John Bird. John Bird is the publisher of the Big Issue magazine. You may have seen it. And the big issue is magazine of homeless people. John Bird became homeless when he was only 5 because his parents cannot afford to rent. And at age 7, he was sent in the orphanage. He spent a few years there, and age 13, he got small crime and he was jailed. He was in prison. After prison, he was practically homeless throughout most of his life. And while he was homeless, he began to talk to other homeless people. Then he realized it's really amazing. Each homeless person has amazing stories. And John Bird, ever since he began to have this desire in his heart that I wish I could publish this story, the real story, genuine story. I mean, you're on the street, obviously you see a lot of magazines, streets filled with magazine stands. And all those magazines, mostly about the naked woman. Is there a magazine about naked man? Yeah, 박병현 성도 says yes. I guess her favorite magazine. Yeah. And 이정숙 성도 says 모른 척. And he really thinking, does people really want to read a story about who divorced who and who got hard with who? And he really dreamed to publish the people's story. And that motivation gave him diligence, and he saved the money and tried to publish this magazine. And everybody thought crazy. And who's going to read out the homeless people's story? However, he published, and he had a lot of people criticize him too, but at the same time, he got tremendous reaction from the people. Right now, the magazine is published in 28 languages, in 40 countries. And because of the magazine, there are the homeless organization. They're covering up almost every nation. And when John Bird is publishing this homeless magazine, and he also designed section of the magazine that is edited, write it by the homeless people. There's a homeless photographer, homeless reporter, And when he is selling out the magazine, he asking homeless people, I'll give you 10 free copy. When you sell this all 10 copies, you come back with me with a half of the income. You give me the half of the income, I'll give you another 10 free copy, and so on. And he made a condition that when you sell out this magazine, first of all, you have to wear clean clothes. Second of all, you cannot be drunken. Thirdly, you have to be nice. The condition that he promised with these homeless people is because he realized that the problem of the homeless people is not really they are drunken all the time, they're using the drug, all those things, but rather at the center of their heart, they lost the dignity. Because of what? Because of condition. Because of condition, not person, conditions. So he asked 3 things. So those who agreed to with John Bird, he gave free 10 copies of magazine and so on. So he already helped out more than 5,000 people to be independent. They are living in the decent living conditions, and so he completely changed how people see the homeless people. To them, they are criminals. They are drunken all the time, bothers people. useless people in the society. And John Birch did that because he respected his story. He was homeless, his criminals, but those stories are not absolute, fixed. Those are the stories through which his story can arise. This is called transcendence. No matter what kind of condition we may be in, but always remember, I could still dream. Poor lost people are not people who doesn't have money, people who doesn't have a dream. Stop dreaming. And when you stop dreaming, there is the only thing you want. We don't want to be bothered by anything. Just want to be comfortable. That's a very miserable thing. Life is the challenge. Life is the challenge. Not just be comfortable, left out, not be bothered. And this transcendence actually goes to the death. In physical phenomena, death is the end. However, Bible says, in our life, we exercise to transcend beyond the conditions of time and space. In the physical reality, obviously, death is absolute and ultimate. However, what Bible really says is, when we take off our physical body, that's the time our spirit truly become free, and the open forth whole mystery of the universe. And that doesn't automatically come, obviously. When God created us, our life, I said the life is not the living things. In the Bible, life is seed for the transcendence. So he put his life, meaning the spirit, in us, is smaller than mustard seed. And this life, each time I encounter the sacrifice, it grows. So with the mother's sacrifice, it grows, at least to survive. There is more to it. There's more to it. Like Jesus said, the streams of living water coming from my inside. And the life truly blooming out. It's marvelous. It goes beyond time and space. It touches every heart. It creates true values and meanings. And so, our daily life, little things, little incident, we try to exercise to transcend. For example, the unpleasant thing happens. You react to unpleasant, you reacted it. There is no life. Everything reacts. But transcendence is going beyond, one step more than reaction. So when you experience an unpleasant thing, you don't just react. For example, maybe your friend says something negative things to you. Maybe my friend has some scars, unpleasant feelings. So rather than react, I embrace. That's transcendence. All this little transcendence is exercised, mature enough. Then when I take off my body, there is life with the ability to transcend even beyond that. So this possibility is infinite, once God stops this physical world, that's the end of the world, that life become full possibility, interact with everything in the universe, and share the every mystery of everything actually. So that's life. That's what it means to be life in the Bible. Now, the life, I said, blooming up when it encounter the sacrifice. Now, when I say sacrifice, do not mean that my own effort. I guess we do sacrifice, but those when Bible says sacrifice, right? It's really talk about shalom. Shalom is a place. So when everything is its own places, the peace happens. So when Bible says shalom, it actually means is place. In Korean word, 보금자리 is really good word. In English, it's place. I said place. It's kind of nest or home. You know, in the place, important thing is not place. It's person who are in that place, like a home. But our world doesn't know the place. It only knows the rank. Rank is designated location. It's fixed. So, I don't know. You know, we use term like a middle class. That bothers me all the time. Who decides who is in the middle class and who is upper class and who is low class? And all our life, we pursue to be a middle class people in nice residential area, having a good job, driving okay car. You know, it's simply too absurd. Middle class. I mean, who get to decide that? I could be a middle class and low class, high class, if there is class. I mean, I'll be very high class for the most of African people. I guess I'll be low class if I go to Hollywood, Beverly Hills. Am I? More. The rank is not people-centered. So Bible talk about the place. That's why the Genesis chapter 1, you know, first day light was created, and the second day sky and sea, and third day earth and plants. So the fourth, fifth, sixth day, God created the sun, moon, stars, and birds in the air, fish in the sea, and animals on the earth, so that they eat the plants. So he talk about the places. Place is something like this. A mother holding a baby. And no mother thinking that's a rank. And baby crying. You are low rank and you are crying in front of me and hitting baby. There's no mother. I hope nobody is like that, right? Sue? Sua? Do you? How about your mother? Okay. So, place is always exchangeable. When you come to my place, I go to your place. Like a mother, in mother's absence, father acting out the mother. When the father has to go to a trip, mother takes a father's role sometimes. It's all, because it's person-oriented. But this society doesn't know what is place. In the place, we come together. We get to be one. We communicate. Not fixed your location. So our relationship has to be always fixed in a certain ways. That's the word. But when it's a place, the marvelous thing happens. Sacrifice happens. When mother and baby are together in the place, mommy doesn't get to, decide to sacrifice for baby. It just naturally happens. And the tragedy is, a lot of husband and wife, they are not in the place. They are in the rank. That's why always a power game going on between a husband and wife. Who get the control? And once it becomes a rank, then you try to fight each other to earn the power, hegemony. But husband and wife come into the place and they become flexible each other, respects each other's place, so sacrifice naturally happens. That's how it's supposed to be in our life. But this world turned everything into the designated location. Therefore, world, as a key term for the world, is fixed. Fixed. And best example is education. Education, I do not mean only in the schooling. Education happens in the home, education happens in the school, education happens in the society. When baby was born, it's an amazing life. A human baby, before 1 year, it can distinguish I and not I. Animals, you train their whole life, they cannot do that. The ability to distinguish I and not I is amazing thing because it objectifies, ability to objectify. I could see myself from the objective point of view. That happens before 1 year. Also the languages. A baby, just open to the circumstance with the several languages. Quickly adopt 4 or 5 languages, no problem. You try to teach the language, one language to the animals. It just simply doesn't, it cannot. Not only that, a baby already begin to distinguish symbolic meaning of it. Baby understand the difference between mommy giving me an apple or mommy giving me a flower. They begin to teach however, this word, presuming the baby is nothing. Baby doesn't know anything. Baby doesn't know anything about this fixed system. So the whole society, parents, teachers, all the social agents, try to teach it what system is, so that the baby understands the system well, so he may climb to the higher rank. So when the system is fixed, system identify who I am, what I am. So in the fixed system, I am fixed I. When fixed, there is no dream. No dream. Dream becomes simply you climb a little bit of a higher ladder in your classes. It's amazing things, I did 12 years of youth ministry. And saddest thing is, in your teenager, in such a period of dreams, period of possibilities, but in this fixed system, when students graduate the high school, They know their class. Nobody told them, but they have decided what class I belong to. Then whole life, they never challenge. I mean, I'm a 50,001 class, 100,000 class. I'm a 300,000 class. Once that is fixed, the only thing is try to earn little more in that fixed classes. We never dare to open up whatever this boundary is there, and I just walk down to my dream, the genuine desire of my heart. Because very early on, all we learned is the system is fixed. And if you did what we told you to do, then you'll go up maybe easily. But if you didn't do what we told you to do, you cannot go far. For example, you get an exam and you get a 100 every time, you may go further. If you didn't do that, you cannot go any further. And we just absorb it, and we are fixed for all our life. And the same routine day, repeating the routine days, not much new, not much life. It's depressing, but only a survival. This Malachi text is the returnees from the Babylonian captivity. The reason they are cut off from the salvation of God is the fixed empire. When they return, they had a dream. If we return, we worship Yahweh, we rebuild the temple, we become people of Yahweh, God will make our nation priestly nation. We will be the top of every ethnic group. We will rule over the whole world. That's what they were thinking. So they came back and they did worship, they rebuilt the temple. Nothing of their imagination has happened. God is restoring their life, not the system. But to them, they didn't see the life, but only the system. When they look at it, after Babylonian Empire, it's a Persian Empire comes. After Persian Empire, guess what? Even stronger, even more cruel empire, which is a Greek Empire comes. After that, Roman Empire comes. Empire doesn't change, it's absolute. When they accepted the fixed world, fixed system, fixed empire, they are turned into the religion. What can you do? In the fixed world, you survive a little better. Please give me a little more money. Please give me a little more what I need. The life has turned into the religion. Result is loss of life, loss of transcendence. So what they do? You just build up your hegemonies. When you become more religious, you have more power. Pharisees, Sadducees, Judaism, whole society turned into the religion-centered society. All these religious people become the center of the power and calling others as sinners. And Jesus, who is Jesus of Nazareth? Jesus denied religion. Jesus denied empire, the fixedness of empire, fixedness of religion, and moreover, fixedness of the dead. Life is beyond everything. That's why, according to Peter, that is according to Jesus' teaching, the whole conclusion of the whole entire Old Testament is what? When my spirit pouring upon your flesh, you begin to attend the church. You are able to listen to long sermon. What is it? When my spirit pouring upon your flesh, what happens? Whether you are old or young or middle-aged people, you dream. That's the conclusion of the entire Old Testament. When the God's Spirit comes us, we begin to dream, meaning that I cannot accept identity this fixed system has given to me. Because you are born into such and such a family, you have such and such a process of the nurturing and growth, and you graduate from the 하나님 Sunday School, which is signed by the 당회장 권홍석, that amount to nothing. And the identity designated by the society, I dare to defy it. I dare to defy it. I am who I am by the grace of God, like St. Paul. And thus, for that, God has appointed a priest. And they turned into the religion. They condemned, they judged the people. People become the object of control rather than their spirit of life comes alive and opening their wings and flying. So we become the result of the circumstance. That's really tragic. Human is never the result. Human is the cause. Human is the cause. History doesn't define us. We create the history. And conclusion, priests are called to awake and nurture the spirit of life and shalom. However, in their unbelief, they became the agents of a fixed system, which in turn gave them back some hegemony. Therefore, God had nullified their calling and cursed their vocation. That's sad, the story of ending story of Judaism. And I don't think today's Christianity is far from this reality. We are here. We are here not to make nice religious organization. Have you ever think about this? When Jesus was with the disciples, do you think he dreamed a big building filled with the people? Do you think will that be a dream of Jesus? No, dream of Jesus is he see each person be truly liberated, truly free. So, whatever it may be, the genuine desire and dream of each person's heart, they just live out. It doesn't have to be big. There is no big or small in life. You think our life is bigger than the kindergartner's life? No, life is all precious. It's just different. So, dream that we all have from the creation of ourselves. We never felt it. We never thought about it. In the survival, just few more dollars. It seems that's everything. If the world is fixed, the world is not fixed. The whole cosmos is infinite possibility of God. It's open there for us to create and enjoy. That's what we are called for. That's what we are called for. That's what it means to be a children of God, heir of God, not attending 하나님 church. Let's pray.